In terms of the servers, we are confident with the servers that we have right now. In the last election, there are some servers that didn't arrive in time for them to be ready to be deployed for the 2017 elections. And actually this had forced us to put some of our activities to be using a cloud-based server. And that is why we had challenges of trying to open the server in time, although, by the way, they were eventually opened. Nobody wants to say that, but they were eventually opened.
Were they verified?
They were eventually opened, and when we asked them to come and check whatever they want, nobody came back was interested in. I think that is the fact that many people have not been reporting on. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, we are not there where we were then. Our servers have been now fully operational.
And just before you conclude, because one of the most famous quotes of the Supreme Court hearing that time is that the servers were in Europe and the people were asleep there. Never mind the time difference of less than 3 hours. What is the true position now?
As I mentioned, we were forced to use cloud-based servers because the servers we procured then were not provided in time for us to deploy it for the elections. So we have since.
So they were not in Europe.
Our servers were with us, but they were not ready for deployment, for use. They were not set up for use in readiness for the 2017 elections at the time. But we have since ensured that all the servers have been, commissioned, and they are now in operation. Okay. We have them both in our primary and secondary data centers. Mm-hmm. And at this time, we will not talk about cloud-based servers anymore.
Okay, but because you're saying that nobody wants to speak about the servers we eventually opened, I'm just curious, because that election showed that Uhuru Kenyatta was leading with 54%, if I'm not mistaken, and the NASA team was saying that there are certain things that were done to ensure that the candidate lost. Have you been able to do an audit of the servers, and what did you find? Would you still stand with the figure of 54%?
Our systems have not been critically audited, but we have done self-audits internally, but we would have wished to have done an external audits. The audits that were done at the time were audits done by Verizon, through the people who supplied us the technology. I think the results at the time was showing that there was no tampering from the audit reports that we got at the time. Mm-hmm. But legally, we are supposed to do an annual audit of our systems. This is one of the challenges we've had since 2017, because each time we factor in that in our annual budgets, it is always removed. So, which therefore means that we have not been able to do a detailed audit of the systems as per the requirements of the law. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I think what we are now planning to do, which is something we asked our ICT to do, is to get local experts mm-hmm. to do an audit of the system. Mm-hmm. And this is something we will have to revert to, because we don't have adequate funding for an external extensive audit. Okay. We will now be looking at the in-country resources available mm-hmm. for them to come and do an audit, at least before the referendum, if there will be any, even before the next general election. So statutorily, we were not able to do the annual audit as required because of lack of funding.